Okay, for 2 seconds, I want to do a review of this movie Blink Twice, directed by Zoe Kravitz and co-written by Zoe Kravitz. Yo, if I ain't never seen a display of what a Diddy party look like, that movie is it. That movie is it. And you know what's crazy is that her father is very, very rich, very, very famous, and he also owns an island. Now, I don't know if that's her, like, dry snitching on her dad. I hope that's not the case, is she dry snitching on her dad, but I feel like she dry snitching on somebody. Zoe is dry snitching on somebody with this movie. And what comes to mind is them people talking about MK Ultra. And my Angel Reese. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, that movie, yo, I was having a great Saturday. I was having an amazing Saturday. I was enjoying my day. It was beautiful. I was enjoying my life. I was so grateful for my life. I'm still so grateful for my life. But the way that she gave a warning, and thank God that she did, because this is not your average thriller, scary movie, boom, peekaboo, boom, got you. You know what I'm saying? This is not your average that. And it's very triggering. But what stands out to me is the similarities to the Diddy stories, to the Epstein stories, to the MK Ultra stories. Like, yo, so I don't know who she dry snitching on, but she dry snitching on somebody. This just, like they say, imagination. There's some truth somewhere. But she did a great job with the project. She did a great job. I've been following Zoe Kravitz since the Kimmy movie. If you have not seen the Kimmy movie, it's Kimmy, Kimi, and it's starring Zoe Kravitz. You just type it in, and it's her with the blue hair. Acting skills, top tier. She displayed her acting skills in that movie, like, top tier. Like, she really convinced me. She definitely it's given Oscar worthy. I say that people throw that around a lot, like it's just something to say. But the way she was able to display anxiety, and the way that her and the director, I don't know who the director of Kimmy was, but her and the director, the way they were able to display anxiety on screen, unmatched. I have not seen any movie address that and get the feeling and the vibe of it so well, like she was able to do that, and the director was able to do that in that movie, the Kimmy movie. So she convinced me already as an actress of how good she was, but as a director and a writer, yo. So yeah, she gave the warning in the beginning. It was definitely that. It was definitely all of that. And the crazy thing is like, it wasn't even as like gory as how other movies try to do the whole, grape scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, other movies, it's very gory, but like, I don't know, like, it was just the right amount. But like, the psychological thing, like I said, if you look up MK Ultra, if you know anything about that, like, that is just wow. And like I said, the way they was wearing white and stuff, and then the whole island thing and all that, like being on the island by themselves. As soon as old girl got bit by a snake, and then nobody called the cops, and didn't nobody, it wasn't even call the cops. It wasn't let's get back on the plane and take her home. Like, he didn't even, the old boy didn't even try to sound like he knew what kind of snake it was and like what kind of poison it was. He just brushed it off. You know what I'm saying? Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. But like, spoiler alert. Just wildness. If you haven't seen it, go watch it for sure. But the crazy thing is, why is nobody talking about this fucking movie? Especially in the wake of the Diddy situation. Especially in the wake of so many help, like so many people who've worked with closely with all of these very powerful people, not just the famous ones, but just these very powerful people. In the wake of all these people speaking out against these people with power and money, why has no one, like, nobody talking about this fucking movie, bro? Anyway, I had to like go emotionally comfort myself. It was sad. It wasn't sad. I had a great evening. I was having a great day. And like I said, I told myself for a while I wanted to watch this movie. This movie been out like a month or two. And I told myself I wanted to watch this movie. And I finally got around to it, you know, and I was having a great day, enjoying my Saturday. It was amazing. You know, I may or may not have gotten to some of my, I guess, adulting plans that I set out for myself. I didn't get around to my adulting plans that I set out for myself, but man, that movie fucked me up, and I had to go recoup emotionally. I really did. I had to recoup emotionally. Like, yo, I have I may or may not put my evening either in the slides of this, or I might just do a whole nother vlog of the slides of this. But I had to go recoup emotionally. I had to go to a restaurant. I had to go enjoy my life for what it was. But what I got out of the movie, let's talk about what I got out of the movie. What I got out of the movie was facial fears. That's what I got out of the movie. Because the things that it was reminding me of, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy, just a little bit. I'm not deep off into the flat earth and all that kind of shit. But just a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. You know, maybe I guess the believable things, right? And what I got out of it was facial fears. Like, you really gotta face your fears. And facing your fears requires recognizing the terrible along with the beautiful that is life. You know, life, it is beautiful, and you could also say is equally terrible. And in the movie, it was spoiler alert, the guy, he was the main character. He was like, yeah, my sister, you know, she basically, he was trying to argue that his sister lets her trauma and her past like rule her life, when again it's like she facing her fears. And a part of facing your fears require you being hyper vigilant in a way that it could be taxing. It could be taxing, but it's better to know than to not know. At least that's where I land on it, on the spectrum. I guess the main character, he was of the perspective of it's better to not know than to know. But from what I got out of the movie is that men, especially men, and some women, because you had the lady in there, spoiler alert, like I said, you had the lady in there that also agreed with the men, I guess, of just forgetting, and it's better to just forget. It's better to not know than to know. But it's so crazy how like so many of the men thoroughly understood what they were doing. They were not under the influence at all, except for the other dude that was also traumatized, right? He was a victim as well. And I like how she specifically made it a homosexual man that was a victim, because they're also on the same level as women, right? And I love how she depicted that all the other men knew exactly what they were doing. And it's just so interesting to me how like, and it's a clear depiction of men today. Like, if if they knew that there was something out there like date rape drugs, obviously that does exist. Date rape drugs does exist. Women, boom, get laced cup or whatever drink, get laced with something. They don't remember what's going on the next day. Men take full advantage of that, and there are more men perpetrators than women. Women do it too. Women do it too, but there are way more. There, come on now, it's a 90-10. 90% of men are more likely to do this than women. You probably get about 10% of women that's gonna go for this, but it's like mainly for what are they doing it for? Most of the 10% of women that's doing it is mainly to just try to swipe your debit card and then be done with you. Men, 90% of men, like, come on, let's be real. Like the numbers, men to women doing this, it's 90% more men that's doing this. So it's just so crazy how she depicted that it was more men, which is in real life. Like, you just had months ago women online and men trying to deny the truth, like they don't know each other. Because let it be their daughter or their mama, they gonna pick the bear too. You had the whole pick the bear or a random man. A random man. A random man. Not your brother, not your daddy, not your uncle. A random man. Most men, they were like, if your daughter's in the woods by herself, who are you picking? A random man that you don't know, that's not a part of the family, or a bear? Every father said a bear. And then you also had those same men mad that women themselves were like, I'm picking a bear. I'm picking a bear, bro. Why would I pick a random man that I don't fucking know? And a bear, like, come on now. And the way that these dudes are depicted in this movie is just like, you know what I'm saying, taking advantage of the situation. Like, they're fully aware of what they're doing. And then when the women come to, now all of a sudden, you know that you're doing wrong and you still doing it. And I don't know, it's just, it reminded me even of like when I went and got my wisdom teeth taken out. I'm a wisdom, whatever. Wisdom teeth, molar, whatever the fuck. The wisdom teeth in the back, right? Taken out. You know, they gotta give the little anesthesia, right? Because you gotta take the wisdom teeth out, right? They give you the anesthesia. Don't remember shit. I swear to God, that bitch was sitting on me. It was a lady and a man there. Both of them motherfuckers was sitting on me, bro. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that they wasn't sitting on me. Because why was my thighs hurting so bad? Why was my thighs hurting so bad? I don't fucking know. But my heart goes out to any woman that was ever drugged, ever. Ever drugged, ever. Like, we ride at dawn. I don't give a fuck. It's 6 black trucks deep in that bitch. Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? Where he at? I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to jail. Let's die today. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you putting, and then, like, again, they were full aware, knowing what they was doing. In his mind, it's, oh, it's okay because they gonna forget tomorrow. And, you know, there's no forgiveness. So because you know there's no forgiveness in the world that exists, and people would rather forget than to forgive, you're going to take advantage of people's psychotic and emotional breaking point. Humans are humans. Humans are not machines. Like, again, like, and I've been on this philosophical tip for a while now of, like, human beings have more empathy for machines. Human beings have more empathy for machines than they do for human beings. This man was traumatizing women, or just people, right? Because there was another man there. He was homosexual, but that doesn't matter. You were traumatizing people to test out a drug so other wealthy people can traumatize people and practice their debauchery full-fledged in full cognitive, their cognitive mind can practice their full-fledged, most heinous, debauchery, demonic fantasies out on human beings. And you taking advantage of other humans' psychotic and emotional breaking point to justify you should do these things, because at the end of the day, human beings don't forgive, no matter how bad you are. Human beings don't forgive. Maybe it's a good thing that human beings don't forgive. Maybe that's a good thing. Why would you try to market this as, oh, well, you know, we should forget everything. No, because the people that think like you, they just see that as, okay, well, we can just hawk them up on these drugs and then just take full advantage of the humanity. That's wild. And then Homegirl, the main character, what I got out of her character was, I don't understand the ending. I really don't understand the ending of her character or whatever she was trying to do or not do. I don't know what the fuck going on. But in the beginning though, right, after watching the movie and then thinking back to the beginning of the movie, what I got from it and what I said earlier was facial fears. Is because I understand this thoroughly that, like, as human beings, even if you experience something traumatic that you don't want to remember or you blocked out or you think that you're okay, like how she kept saying, I'm fine, I don't need therapy or whatever, I don't need to talk to somebody, I don't need to emotionally and mentally not even re-traumatize, because a lot of people try to frame it that way, like re-traumatize yourself. You're not re-traumatizing yourself, you're facing your fears, because what you're gonna end up doing is exactly what she did in the movie, which is she didn't even remember the last year before that when she ended up in that same situation with these same people. She don't even remember that. And what her subconscious mind was doing was, and this is what a lot of people do who has been through traumatic situations, is your subconscious mind tries to recreate the same situation so you can act differently, create a different scenario, create a different outcome. Like subconsciously your mind is trying to create a different outcome. That's what it's trying to do. So like people be like, why is it that, you know, your parents will be alcoholics and then the kids turn out alcoholics, or one of the kids may not be an alcoholic, you know, like both the parents, or one or the other parent alcoholic, whatever, just as an example. And they be like, oh, one of the kids don't be an alcoholic, but then the other one turns out to be an alcoholic. It's because they're trying to recreate the same scenario so their subconscious mind is trying to take it, make a different outcome. So it sounds crazy, but it's like running head first into like a bullet train or some shit like that, trying to make a different outcome. And it's like, of course the trauma takes over and then you end up just recreating the same scenario. But what really is happening is your subconscious mind is trying to create a different outcome this time. And that's really what's going on. So I saw that in the movie as well with the main character, the lady that ended up being the main character. It's like her subconscious mind was drawn to him for some reason. She knew him, or she was drawn to him, but her subconscious mind was really trying to recreate a different outcome, which is what we end up seeing towards the end of the movie. She was traumatized by these people, but she ended up being there, getting sucked in, and then boom, you see her come to through the series of fortunate or unfortunate events. She come to, and then it's like the subconscious mind, it's like her subconscious and her conscious finally merge, and instead of running from the traumatic experiences, you just had to bear through it and then again create a different outcome for herself. And a lot of people, like I said, that's what I got mainly out of the entire movie, was just face your fears. Face your fears. If you don't do nothing else in this life, face your fears, man. Face your fears. Because if not, the subconscious or people that see the subconscious, they're not gonna do nothing but take advantage of it for you. And you can clearly see in the main character, and the other dudes, there's people out there that are going out of their way to take advantage of other people's subconscious that's not ready to face their fears. That's wild. That's wild as fuck. But man, that's crazy. And to me, it's like, how much of this did she write? How much of this did Zoe write? Where is she getting this material from? And I want to know how deep into the conspiracy of MK Ultra is she? How deep into the conspiracy of MK Ultra is she? Because that's a lot. That's a lot. But anyway, I had a great night. I ended up having to end it, great night. Went to the restaurant. I had to like come back to reality. Like, I'm in this space. I'm da 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 da. You know, I got the reality of being lucky to go to a restaurant, enjoy myself, eat what I want to eat, do what I want to do, spend what I want to spend. They ended up sitting me next to another woman who was single. She was a little young. She was younger than me, or whatever. But she was single. She was doing her thing, having fun by herself, and we ended up chopping it up, talking and everything. Hopefully, she watched the movie, but I did forewarn her, like, have a emotional and mental coping uh, coping skills or your coping mechanisms in place afterwards. Maybe not, but I don't really fuck with scary movies for real. I'm more of a Disney-ish type of scary movie kind of girl. I'm not really into the gore and all that kind of weird shit or whatever. But that was enough scary movie for me, and it ain't even October yet. But yeah, I feel like people should watch the movie for sure. If nothing else, like I say, people should face their fears. Therapy, but with a trusted therapist. Yeah, like really face your fears, man. That shit is crazy, and I definitely believe that's the shit that be happening at Diddy's parties. That's the shit that be happening at these very wealthy people parties. You ain't gonna tell me different. That's the shit that be happening for sure, for sure. And the fact that she was raised rich, around a rich and famous person, I feel like she done seen some shit. You ain't gonna convince me that she has not seen some shit. Who was she dry snitching on is the question. That's where I'm at with it now. Is who she dry snitching on? In the way that, like, the whole conspiracy of, again, this, I don't care if the Illuminati is real or not, because the entertainment industry really ain't got power like that for real. Y'all need to be looking at the financial district. The financial district and the fucking government, them motherfuckers is the one with the real power. Anyway, the fucking entertainment industry is a side hustle. But it just made me wonder, like, whatever, right? The whole little weird shit that they be having going on in these secret organizations of the very rich. I'm gonna just say that across the board, the very, very rich, these secret things that they got going on. It's just like, damn, it make me feel like I hope nothing ever happened to her. I heard that some people be like, some people part of that world, they say like it's just normal. Like that's just a normal thing to do. It's like for high powered judges, high powered whatever, high powered CEO, to just be trading their daughters and wives and shit like it's nothing. It made me think about that lady, and I don't even know what her husband do, but that lady, that British lady who was saying that her husband was drugging her every night for 80 men, the same 80 men, that sound like this movie. Her husband was drugging her every night. It had a clientele of the same 80 men abusing her. And they all knew that they was abusing this woman and gaslighting this woman. They all knew that they was gaslighting and abusing this woman non-stop for years. And then this movie come out, and then Diddy get in trouble, and then that whole thing, like, it's just too many synchronicities. And then they be saying that in this little club or whatever the fuck they got going on, that in plain sight, that's one of the things, in plain, like, they gotta tell you what they doing in plain sight, but then everybody overlooked the shit like nothing ever happened. Everybody just laugh it off, like how now everybody looking at Diddy's old interviews, but he's literally admitting to everybody the shit that he be doing that he's now indicted for, and the type of like laws that they follow of their community is in plain sight, which means you got to tell the public what you're doing so that way you able to get away with it longer. You know, I don't know, man. That's just that's too much, bro. I really had to go and just de-stress. and I got a movie I'm gonna watch afterwards. I got my things in order that I'm gonna watch. But I just gotta de-stress. Like, so much information I took in, I'll be here for a whole hour talking about this shit. Like, so not even just the movie, just things in general that's just been happening. Like, so much stuff, shit that's been happening, and like things being revealed. Like, this, we really are in the age of Aquarius. Like, nothing is a fucking secret anymore. And the question becomes now, like, does a greater society or humanity, do they want to evolve, or do they want to just pretend to be ignorant to the debauchery and the bullshit and just hope that they're not a victim of it? It's crazy. It's really crazy.